Hi there beer fans, and welcome to Andy's Beer Reviews. Now this is going to be a little bit different, so welcome to Hops and Histories. I'm going to do a little mini series taking us on a virtual tour of the world of beer. Now it's going to be a little bit like a travel show, but we're not going to go anywhere. If I'm being brutally honest, I can't afford to take you all off to exotic places. But we will be exploring the diverse flavours, cultures and stories behind different beers, different beer styles. Now today I'm going to start off with the Munich Helles, simply because I reviewed this beer, which is a very nice beer actually, earlier in the week, and as I was reviewing it I was kind of going through in my head what a fascinating lager it is and fascinating story. So I wanted to take a close look at it. Now I'm sure none of you mind if I have a little drink whilst I do these little stories. So the Munich Helles is relatively young beer compared to other traditional styles of German beer, but the history of it is nonetheless fascinating. Helles as a beer, as a name, translates into pale or light, and you can see when you pour one, it does look really, really light and bright and clear. And so you know you're drinking, you don't necessarily know you drink Helles, but that is a good example of what it should look like. It was first brewed in the late 19th century in Munich, Germany, hence the name Munich Helles. Its creation was a response to the rising popularity of Pilsner style beers from what was called Bohemia, now the Czech Republic. Excuse me, it's poured, it'd be rude not to. Oh, beautiful temperature as well. Yeah, so brewers in Munich at the time were really famous for brewing darker, maltier beers. And because of the success of the Pilsners, they wanted to create something which was a little bit lighter and a little bit more palatable. Darker, stronger beers are richer and take a little bit more drinking, where these, you can drink a few of these and feel fine. Not necessarily too filling. So I wanted to create these lighter beers, and I wanted to appeal to drinkers who were more accustomed, therefore, to these lighter, crisper, refreshing flavours that the Pilsners brought. So like I say, it's a relatively young beer, so only 130-ish years old, and in 1894, the Spartan Brewery, you might have heard of, you might have drunk some Spartan beers. They were the first one to introduce the Munich Helles at the request of their a brewmaster called Gabriel Silmier. Now he was inspired by, and I think he used to brew the Pilsner style beers in Bohemian Czech Republic, and he wanted to bring those over to Germany, and so he talked to the Spain brewery, and that's when that was introduced. So it's only 130 years old. The Munich Helles was a departure from, like I say, from those darker malter beers that were common in Bavaria at the time, and it was a massive success, an absolute instant success. Brewed as it is today, just using pale malts and a relatively small amount of hops, so you get a beer that's, like I say, hence the name, lighter in colour, cleaner in flavour, and a little bit more carbonated, fairly a little bit more carbonated than the beer it would have replaced, or the maltier beers that they had. So the Munich Helles quickly gained popularity in Bavaria and beyond. It's a lovely beer, no reason why it shouldn't be a popular beer. It quickly became one of Germany's most beloved beer styles. They tend to be quite smooth, really balanced in flavour, subtle malty sweetness and a little bit of hot bitterness, and it just it just appealed even to a wider range of drinkers, and it became a real favourite at beer gardens where drinkers would drink a lot of this and be served with traditional, well, they'd serve this in the big traditional, which I haven't got close to at the moment, those big traditional beer steins. So they serve loads of these in the beer steins, and a really hearty Bavarian cuisine. Now, despite the initial success of the Munich Helles, It faced a lot of challenges in the 20th century, particularly during World War I and World War II, when rationing and economic hardship forced many of these brewers to scale back production or really close their operations altogether. However, the style experienced a real revival in this latter half of the 20th century as craft brewers in Germany and around the world rediscovered the charms of the Munich Helles and began to brew their own interpretations of this classic beer. Now today the Munich Helles remains a staple in German's brewing tradition. I think I said in the review, if you ask for a beer when you're in Munich, you're going to get a Helles poured for you, because that's just a standard thing. And it continues to be really enjoyed by beer enthusiasts worldwide. Its timeless appeal just lasts in its simplicity and drinkability, and the ability to satisfy both really seasoned beer drinkers and connoisseurs and casual drinkers alike. So now hopefully you know a little bit more about the Munich Helles beer, how relatively new it is and how it went up in popularity, declined a little bit, but now thanks to these old traditional brewers and newer craft brewers, it's coming back. So to the Munich Helles, cheers!